All right. Let's see. Hopefully you can see me. Alas, being TikTok, I cannot see you. However, the cool thing is, and I realized I obviously am due for a haircut soon because my little punk rock-esque type new wave action here is getting so tall that I needed to put my camera up so you guys can remember about the metaphor of the road trip. All right. So, hey, cool. We get some people already showing up. I am moments away from seeing it in a bigger font. Yay. Here we go. What do we got? We got Blonde Cheryl and Mama Pepper and Blonde and Cheryl again saying good morning, and user 8411 and 80s Girls and Hadin and Shannon in retrograde. Also, Gina. I always think of a David Bowie song when I see you. Kind of like when Damn It Donna shows up. Damn it, Donna. Mama Pepper, there is no late. I was decluttering Christmas cookies. This is how I declutter Christmas cookies. Tis the season. Good morning, Judy. Just say Judy. Yeah. Tis the season of eating random sweets that have appeared in your house for any meal at all. Good morning, Tatiana. Good morning to everyone. Okay. Oh, this could be fun. I just noticed that I have like kind of a quote a day calendar, and I forgot to even do it for yesterday because no, wait, you know what? Today it's a week, isn't it? PM1128. Nice to see you. It's only Tuesday, right? Yeah, Tuesday. I gotta totally cheat here. Tuesday, December 23rd. Tuesday, not Wednesday. Okay, so I wasn't behind. Here's my quote for the day, not my own calendar. Patty, my eyes are fabulous. Let me just give you the quote for the day, but actually, you know what? Let me tell you about my eyes, because then I'd rather talk about the quote of the day, of which I have not even read. I did the craziest thing this morning, you guys. This was nutty. I am getting used to something that I never thought was possible, which was to be able to see clearly through my own eyes without the use of external lenses, because basically they surgically replaced my internal lenses. I wanted to take a walk this morning, so I got some Christmas cards together and I was walking them down to the mailbox, like a couple of blocks away. I'm like halfway to the mailbox and I realized I left the house without my glasses on. My eyesight is so good that I was able to walk out of the house without my glasses, and I'll be completely transparent with you. Transparent, much like the non-lenses of these glasses. These glasses have no prescription in them. I simply keep them on for my own social comfort because I am so used to seeing my own face with glasses that I am getting comfortable with my own face. I haven't seen it for decades, sharply anyway, and man, there are a lot more wrinkles than there were the last time I saw this face without the aid of external lenses. Yeah, good for you, Pinky Silver Chloe. The cool thing is I survived. I didn't notice it, but it was something I was a little bit afraid of. The fear of people are going to think I'm ugly without my glasses. I'll be honest with you. I have to get more comfortable with my face, but I also think that as Baroness von Sketch would say, is for now, glasses are part of my signature look. Okay? If you don't know what signature look and Baroness von Sketch, look them up. And Cat Mama, I don't even need readers. Oh, thank you, Pinky Silver Chloe. I do my best to love who I am. All right? We could compare ourselves to many people. No, I don't need that. And yeah, and I am getting comfortable with that, but it takes a while. I am getting comfortable with my new reality. And it's like, notice how my hands are going like this, kind of expanding my own comfort zone to include being comfortable leaving the house without my glasses. See, also, I'm kind of lazy too, frankly. And if I throw glasses on, it means I don't feel the need to put on makeup at all or as much. Okay. But anyhow, thank you for asking. I'm doing well, and I hope you are all yourself. Take a scan from the crown on down and see how you're feeling physically. And if you're not feeling good physically, let's do something to change it, okay? And I say let's, but really it's up to you to do that, okay? I can encourage you, but I can't make you drink at the stream of water that we bring the horses to. Okay? So anyhow, my name is Beth. I'm a decluttering life coach. My coaching is called Destination Decluttered. I'm doing a TikTok live right now. It's Tuesday, December 23rd, 2025, where I am, according to my phone, it's 10:06 a.m. in the morning. Totally didn't have to say that. It may be a different time where you are, but I will be here for the next 54 minutes regardless. And then after that, I'm hopping right over to the Destination Decluttered YouTube channel for another hour of live help for you if you're stuck with your clutter. But in the meantime, since I still have this hanging out in my hand, I'm going to read to you whatever the quote is from my quote a day calendar. It is entitled The Sweet Life. Okay? If you're not where you want to be in life, keep going. Makes sense, kind of like a road trip. You're not where you want to be, keep going. Treat yourself like you're the closest friend you've got. Oh, I like that one. I like that. That's a keeper. I'll look at that for the next day and then I'll see what tomorrow's brings. Okay? So decluttering. It's kind of a wacky week, okay? Kind of a wacky week to start any kind of new habits, but man, can you just at least try to do, seriously, the surface area decluttering. Even right now, frankly, please use the time that you have, because we often think of what we don't have, and that stops us from starting anything. So I don't have time to do that. I don't have energy to do that. I don't have money to do it. Think of all the things you may tell yourself, the things you lack, therefore you don't do. And not to quote my husband's, what do I want to say? My husband's manager, when my husband was in high school and he worked at Roy Rogers. And it's so funny because I've seen pictures. My husband had like flock of seagulls hair, and I can only imagine like some sort of cowboy hat perched atop his like John Taylor haircut. As he often says, if you've got time to lean, you've got time to clean. Okay? Now I say this with love, because if you have time to hang out with me on this TikTok live, I'm saying this to benefit you. I'm not saying it does no benefit to me, but I'm saying you can also listen to me, put me on a stand, pump up the volume, pump up the volume, pump up the volume, dance. You can do that and we can hang out together. I do not mind. So this is what I like to say. Use some of this time together to putter and declutter. Okay? Putter and declutter. Yeah. No, I love it. And what does putter and declutter mean? Putter means, puttering around, not like a direct route. This is where you just don't have, your destination will be that I want my house to look slightly better than it did before the Destination Declutter TikTok Live started. And the layer of clutter I want you to focus on is your surface clutter. Okay? It's the stuff that's simply sitting on a surface. Because that's the stuff that you can declutter while you're still listening to me. It's a lot of, I know where that goes, I just haven't put it there yet. Am I right? Yes, I am right. Okay? So that one persona says, yes, my goal, destination, is to have the house tidy-ish. Notice, we give ourselves some flexibility. Tidy-ish before the holiday chaos and mess comes. Woo, it's like a storm coming in. Yeah, and that way it will be easier after the holiday is over. Yeah. Uh-huh. Oh, there we go. Now, Barbara, I know what you're saying, so you don't have to retype it. She says, I P&D, I putter and declutter with Beth in the background so often, and it works. Yay for the testimonial. Okay? So what I say to that is, you may say, my gosh, is this Beth from Destination Decluttered live on TikTok all the time? Oh, hell no. I got my own life. And I love you guys, but I love my life too. But over at the Destination Decluttered YouTube channel, there are hundreds and hundreds of free hour-long videotapes of these very TikTok lives that we have for you to pop on like a podcast, to listen to in the background. And it gives you support, encouragement, problem solving, hopefully some humor, because if I'm not making you laugh, then I'm missing the mark too. Okay? And right now, here's a crazy thing. Right now I'm looking, you have a choice, not to overwhelm you with choice, and choice can be overwhelming. You have 931 videos to choose from. Okay? Now, I will say this. They are chunked down, and those of you who have been following me for a while know that I use the word chunk down. And they are chunked down into playlists, and the chunks are by month. So there's a playlist right now called December 2025 TikTok and YouTube live recordings. This TikTok live that I'm doing right now, that you and I are creating right now, will be uploaded to that playlist, so you can listen to it again. So if you are wanting something with a bit more of a holiday kind of, how do I declutter prior to the holidays, you might want to look at the December one and the ones that we did yesterday, the day before, whatever. That may help you. But also please, let's make this one that will help you, that you would want to go back and say, what was that Beth told me? That it was so new to me, or it was a revolution, that I couldn't remember it. Right now, you can go watch the rerun. So let's make it a good one, okay? Let's make it a good one for you and me. No, it's We Are the World. There's a Christmas song that's kind of going through my head. Let's make it a good one. Anyhow, there we go. Yeah, so Patty, work with me, right? Yes, you are right, she says, about puttering and decluttering while we're hanging out on this TikTok Live. She says, you are right. I'm sitting here looking over at stuff I can fix and stuff that belongs to others. Okay, so do something. Get yourself in action. That's one of the reasons I show up, is not just so you can sit there and listen to me. If you only listen to me, I missed my mark. When you listen to me, it prompts you to take action, to do something, to verb, that's what's happening, then that's more of me going, yes. Okay. Now, it doesn't mean you need to do it right now. Like when I'm saying do it right now, physically, mentally, situationally, you may not be able to, but use this to encourage you to take some action and move towards your destination. Okay. Now, I love this. Judy says, with your advice, I am feeling less stressed. Oh, now that music, to these. Ohos are ears. These ears, okay? I am feeling less stressed, decluttering my brain by, and this is the action part. Decluttering my brain is an action part. How do you declutter your brain? And notice even my hand is going, you take the things up here and you write them down on paper. She says, decluttering my brain by making lists of daily tasks for Christmas Eve and day. Notice it feels better to do that, so do it. Yeah. Now, Barbara says, I decluttered my elementary art classroom yesterday and then fell asleep. I missed the Zoom party. It's fine, Barbara. I think it's better that your body got some rest. We just hung out and talked about snacks and found out that a couple of people are Bruce Springsteen stalkers, and you can get things at Aldi in Australia and also in New Jersey. It was fun. Yeah, and there we go. Leslie says, thanks for last night's party. It is fun to try new things and love this group. Yeah, it's a fun group of people. Yeah. Okay. So that one persona says the Bethism. Oh, I love that because it's kind of like a Gregism. You guys know Greg, right? I ask myself, decide where to start. And I will say this, don't overthink it, but starting anywhere is always going to be better than not starting at all, right? So starting where it feels easiest can be good too. And this is where my road trip and car metaphors are going to kick in. Starting anywhere means you are getting your engine warmed up, right? You're sitting there cold in the driveway with the keys in the ignition. You decide to do something, means turned on the ignition, and then you get into gear doing something that's going to make your home less cluttered than it currently is. Rarely are any of those things wrong. Okay? And wrong is also arbitrary. So I just say, if you even just giving yourself the easy destination, let me make it easy for you. Destination, decluttered. What am I aiming for? Less clutter. How can I get there? Surface area. Check your kitchen table. Everybody right now. How does your kitchen table look? If you don't have a kitchen table, how is a surface in the area of which you tend to have your food in your home? Is it as clear as you would like it to be? Notice, as you would like it to be. If the answer is yes, you go somewhere else, right? But if not, it's almost like math. It's almost like a what do you call it? Like computer programming, like way back in the day when we had to write our own code. If then go to, right? If the kitchen table is clean, then scope out another flat surface that is cluttered and start working on that. If then go to. Yes, and. I'm a freaking ASCII keyboard. All right. Good morning, Jelly Bee. Nice to see you. And morning to Laura Gibbon Voorhees. I prepared a small amount of basement stuff for my adult children to go through while they're here. Okay. If they still can do more, then they can. Yeah. This is just me riffing here, okay, Laura? Just an idea because I don't know. I don't have the full scope of how you got ready for that. I want to say kind of yes and, so this also might help. You may have already done this. But notice that we all know that we make better decisions about what we want to keep and what we don't when we are in the right headspace. This is why when I'm doing my coaching here for free on live TikTok, but also with my paid one-on-one clients, it's often about what are the thoughts in your head and the feelings and the situations. Okay, so here's where I want you to keep an eye on what your goal is. And I say this because it may be a little bit out there. You may want to have them make the decision while they are there. The energy and the ability to focus might not be the best for them, so let's set them up for success. That can be as easy as having a container, having the stuff you prepared for them, if it is able to be containerized. It's most we see is ceiling. Okay, here we go. How is that, Jelly Bee? Is that a little bit better? I know most of it is ceiling. You don't need to see my face. I'm just trying to keep the what do you call it? The road trip above my head because I'm always pointing at it. Okay, but thank you, Jelly Bee. So Laura, what I would say is this. Make it easy for your kids. If they say, I can't decide right now. Okay, cool. Good. Thank you for letting me know. If they don't feel like they can make a decision right now, enable them to gather up their items and bring them back with them. Do not allow them perhaps to keep in your house, or if they really can't physically bring them back to where they live to make decisions, schedule a day and time where they do come back where it's less chaotic than the holidays. Okay? So I share this with you to say, keep your eyes on the prize. Your prize is getting their stuff out of your home in a way that feels good for everybody. Because if they feel good about getting that stuff out of your house, if there's other stuff that gets out, they will remember this interaction as a pleasant one. Okay, so looking a little bit further down the road to what's my real goal, if I get all stinky with them right now, they may not want to do this in the future, but if we make this slightly easier, it's getting yes and. It's going, yes, I hear you that this is not the right place for you, and we're going to make a plan because the ultimate goal. Perfect. All right, see, and I love this. The neat thing is, Laura, I'm glad that I mentioned that to you, because the neat thing is that what you are going through right now as a mom with quasi-adult children, that I know there's somebody else either live right now going through a very similar thing, or when this is recorded and put up, and I'm pointing over here to the YouTube channel, somebody else will benefit from the fact that you're going through this as well. So yay for you giving me the opportunity kind of just to build out that idea, and yay for you to say, Laura Gibbon, saying they each have their stuff in dedicated bins already. So notice a container that can make it easier for them to move it. We have time. We have the whole week together. So notice it's not like a short amount of time where you're panicked and making decisions under pressure, right? We have the whole week together and we've got time, okay? So notice what Laura has done to set up, to prep the surface for success, to get herself to go to destination, my basement decluttered, okay? Part of the clutter in her basement is the stuff of her kids. And so she has identified that stuff, put it into containers, and scheduled a time to give them to go through and them decide what they want and what they don't want. Okay? And this is a good question. So I'll read it for the people who are out and puttering and decluttering. So Laura, Judy's asking you a question in the comments, and the question is as follows. Laura, so if they don't want stuff, do they get rid of it or you? Now, I will say this, Judy. To me, this is an interesting point. If you want to be a hard nose about it, of which I am often, I would sometimes require them to take the stuff and just honestly just practice the act of decluttering. When we do something for somebody else, did I say that right? When we do something for somebody else, we often don't give them, we stop them from having the experience themselves. So they may not know how to drop stuff at the door at the place to donate stuff. Okay? So notice, Laura, and this might be something that you can help your kids with the next step. So notice this, and again, I'm just riffing here. These are just ideas thrown out there to see what lands with you, okay? Which is I've been the one getting rid of it. Notice, you're getting rid of, I'm getting really good at it. Notice what you're getting really good at is the action that you have practiced before. And notice how my hands are going from like your house to the donation, your house to the donation. Yeah. Now, here's a fun thing. Leslie M is also saying, in the past with my kids' stuff, I offer to take it because I go so regularly. They load the car though. So that might be them participating in, okay, if you don't want it, put it in the car and I will bring it. But other times, what I could do, and it could make it fun. Okay, why don't we do it together and we will go fill the car. You fill the car, I'll drive. You will help unfill the car at the donation part. And then we go out to lunch or something. Then we do something fun together. Because it is often surprising to many of us who are good at something to realize that there can be a mini step in a process that somebody doesn't know how to do that stops them from doing something. And we may think they're just being belligerent, but they could be saying, I literally have never dropped off a donation and I'm afraid of the unknown. What happens? So you could walk them through it. Even if they know how to do it, having them participate in the process gives them a better idea of the full process from start to finish. So they understand the energy and time it takes to do these things so that perhaps if they have cluttering tendencies, let me say, if they have the tendency of cluttering up their own living spaces right now, they have a better understanding of all the things you need to do to declutter. And that may minimize their wanting to clutter to begin with. Now, and I will say this, and I don't say it with any judgment, it's more a fact. If you are cluttered, you may have children who also clutter. You may also have children who go the opposite direction and are hyper, minimal. Okay, and I mean, there's a rainbow, there's a spectrum, everybody's on it somewhere. It's a rainbow. She's like a rainbow, okay? Yeah, and that one persona is saying from the adult perspective to other parents, as an adult that wasn't really taught how to declutter, moi aussi, please teach your kids to declutter. And if you don't know how to declutter, again, this is where I like to think of it. Yeah, this is where I like to think of it, is you can't teach what you don't know. And this is, again, this is why I want you to look at the road trip. You can't teach somebody to drive a car if you don't know how to drive a car yourself. Okay? Okay, moi aussi, says Laura Gibbon Voorhees, and that's my mangled French accent, okay? So if you, as an adult with children, struggle with clutter, I'm here for you. You can learn from me. That's why I show up as a teacher to teach you steps to help declutter that you may not have gotten those lessons as a kid. No big deal. I don't care how old you are. If you want a house that's decluttered, I can teach you how to do it. I ain't going to do it for you. No, no, no. That does not help. And notice this, Judy is saying, my daughter just expects me to take care of it. So notice that. But I think Beth's idea to help is good, and I do too. Let's raise responsible, independent, good kids. Not irresponsible, what was the other word I used? Irresponsible, independent? Yeah, irresponsible, dependent, bad kids. I don't know. I'm trying to just do the opposite in my head, but man, would that have been easier if I'd written it down, right? Notice I was trying to do the opposites, one hand or the other. So notice, your goal, your destination is to have your child as best as you can as a parent, because everybody's got a certain amount of autonomy, to say to yourself, I did everything I knew how to do to raise a responsible, grown-up kid. I kind of forget the words I used. Alrighty. Now there we go. Laura Gibbon Voorhees says, I think son will appreciate showing him the next step. Daughter has a better grasp on that because daughters are awesome. I mean, daughters are just awesome, right? Yeah. I just didn't want her to have to haul the stuff all the way to North Carolina. And notice how it's a dance, and notice how it is, I'm working with you. I'm not here as a taskmaster beating you up, because the goal is to work together with this, not to have you do it all, but to work together to show them and reach them where it makes sense to. It doesn't make sense for me to tell you to go take it all the way to North Carolina and then dump it. And I forget what state you're in. New York State, maybe? Ohio? We got a lot of Ohioans here. So notice what you're doing. You are also using what you learned from me, and this is the best thing, is you're kind of helping it, quote, go viral, I guess, because you are then passing it along to them, but it's a wonderful thing. It's like a TED Talk. It's like an idea worth spreading, okay? Yeah, Finger Lakes area. Okay, there you go. Finger Lakes, right? I love it. I thought so. So notice, you're not being an asshole, but you're not being a pushover. You're between the two. We're all somewhere on every spectrum. We're on there, and where we are can also differ depending upon how we feel. Trust me, I'm every woman. I am awesome. I'm also an asshole sometimes. But I own it, because it's the spectrum of human experience, you know? Yeah. And notice Judy is saying to Laura, I'm impressed you have it in containers ready for them. Good job. And I bet you anything, because this would be me, is it makes me feel good to have it prepped for them, that it's defined and it's in a container. So it's also another step away from my stuff that I want in my basement. Okay? I love this. Very good stuff. And just think, Judy and Laura, by you guys interacting here in the comments, hopefully you've helped yourselves. But you've also helped somebody else who is listening but not commenting, or listening to a recording of this sometime in the future. So thank you. Anybody else want to kind of show up in the comments here? And again, road trip metaphor. Road trip metaphor is where are you stuck decluttering? So how can I help you? Now, as you're thinking of that and typing it in the comments, Leslie is saying containers also show you mean business. Right, because you can't say, oh, I don't have a box to put it in. You're like, here you go. Let's go through this. But also the neat thing about containers is it is a chunk of stuff. You've determined that that's a chunk of clutter, and it's only this big. It's only one tote. It's only one tote of 14, but maybe you're here once and you do one tote, and then the next 14 times you visit, we go through one. You can chunk and chunk and chunk and chunk. Now, I love it. Country Fences is saying, I love all the support and love in your chats. It's so motivating. Okay, Country Fences, everybody, notice what is motivating to you. Support and love and chat and connection feels motivating. Okay? I show up in this energy because I have learned the hard way that the other thing, the hate and fear and discouragement that people try to tough love you sometimes that stuff to the extreme does not work for me. So I show up with possibility and encouragement. But the thing is I have my boundary. This is why you're in your house and I'm in mine. Because I can do all this stuff, but then it's going to be up to you to use that motivation and get into gear. Get into gear. And drive towards your idea of decluttered. Okay, teacher, nice to see you, and thank you for sharing the live. I love it. Cat Mama's getting help from the fam too. The niece picked up the Christmas decor from the cellar. I love the fact that you're using the word cellar. Niece picked up Christmas decor from the cellar and a bunch of Christmas glasses I didn't need. And this is what I love, Cat Mama. Feels good, made progress. I love it. Yeah. And Bonnie Esther, nice to see you. The idea of containability, can do. It's chunking. I tried to make sure it was doable. Because if it doesn't feel doable, you're not going to do it. Because I don't feel like I can do it. Yeah, I didn't choose the huge bin of pictures for daughter. That's when a smaller bin might help. Yeah, a defined amount. There we go. All I need is support, but don't have it from anyone around me, so I love these lives. I'm happy to be here for you, but hun, I also say, notice, isn't it interesting and kind of sad? My heart goes out to you. If you don't have support from anyone around you, start hanging around with nicer people, more supportive people. Find your family, find your peeps, okay? Happy to have you as part of this. Some people call this the fam, right? I call it the group, the whatever. I call it whatever word comes out of my mouth. But this is a cool group of people. I don't hang out with anybody but cool people, okay? I don't hang around with jerks. They get kicked to the curb, and sometimes you guys don't even notice it, all right? That's one of the reasons why so much of the cool stuff that I offer to people is kind of behind a wall to keep the trolls out, okay? So I share with you, if you like what you hear and you want to hang out with us more, I do this at a scheduled time. And I hope you are part of the email group. The email group is just people who have shared their email address with me. And then as an exchange, I share with them the schedule of TikTok lives and YouTube lives and declutter parties. And what else have we got? Oh, I have to take down the invite to the holiday party we had last night. Pavers and potholes. There's all sorts of stuff. But you have to participate. The action, the one simple action you could take today that will encourage you to declutter is simply to go to my website, destinationdecluttered.com, and share your email address with me so that you can learn when I'm going to show up for a TikTok or a YouTube live. Okay, destinationdecluttered.com. Notice, the ball is in your court. The action is in your hands. Now it's up to you to do something. And to me, it's a small enough chunk of time, of energy, of commitment, of safety. Yeah, and we in the club are fam. And we in the club, we all fam. That was like it's so funny because TikTok trends last like a microsecond, but some of them we keep alive. Now I love this. I love this. German Maid says, got my helper coming today. I love helpers. Santa needed helpers, right? Everybody could use some help and some participation by other people to knock at 3 projects off my list. I love it. So notice when you have somebody helping though, this is an opportunity for you to decide what only you can do and what you can delegate to somebody else, to your delegation. I can only make the decision, but after I make the decision, you can drive the stuff to the Goodwill. I can make the decision, but then you can post this stuff on the internet for me. So notice the things that only you can do and use your time on this planet to do those things that only you can do. And you may think that there are certain things only you can do, but let me guarantee you, there's many things that you're used to doing yourself, but you can delegate to somebody else. And I will be honest, if I did not share with you that twice there, my brain, my mouth was like, about to say, instead of delegate, which sounds very balanced and kind of not judgmental, I'm delegating this task to you, like work. And I mean, German Maid is paying somebody to help her. So yes, it's delegation, it's work. I literally was saying pawn off, like pawn that off on somebody else. Yeah. Okay, so Penny Lou Magoo, I am being the helper for my daughter. My cup is so full. Now, is that a good cup so full, like glass half empty, glass half full, I'm brimming with love? Or are you feeling overwhelmed? Is so full a good full or not so good full? Let me know, Penny Lou Magoo. Okay? And when you help people too, I will share this from personal and professional experience. Finding that boundary, totally brimming with love. Okay, there you go. Yay, you're helping her. Yeah. And so what I will say is, it is a dance. When you are helping somebody, you help and then they come back. You cannot, and this makes me think of the way my first marriage ended. You cannot do 100% of the work for somebody else. If it is a relationship, there needs to be a give and take, and ideally hanging out in the 45 to 75% range, right? I do the bit, you do a bit. It's a dance, okay? If the other person isn't participating, we need to find another dance to do, okay? Now, Laura says, my friend that I have tried to help reverted to overwhelmed hoarder status. She has tried to get professional mental health and can't get it. Yeah, I think she really comes from a lack feeling, and I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised. What I would say is this, and this comes from my little goofy thing here. If you're not where you want to be, keep going. So just because up till now, your friend has not been able to get professional mental health help, doesn't mean she can't get it in the future. Giving up on that is going to be the most important thing. And I'm talking to you as well as I'm talking to many people. The most important thing, again, your physical health and your mental health are intertwined. Your physical health and your mental health will totally create the world around you. Do not give up until you get the help you need. I know it's even tougher than ever now to do it. But that's why maybe Laura, instead of you helping her, and I'm not saying you have to do any of this, but as a friend, perhaps helping her deal with the clutter is too far advanced. Maybe it's backing up and being supportive of her and encourage her to get the mental health help. To say, keep on going, don't give up, you're not alone, I know you deserve this, you can do this. Okay? I know this myself. I am directly dealing with something right now that is very similar. And I can't help but say, if you give up, then you get stuck. She's going to be stuck if you stop on your road trip. This is, again, why I have this thing putting over my head. You're on your way. If you're not there yet and you stop, think about it in your car. If you stop your car, a stop doesn't mean you're stuck. Sometimes you need a breath and you need a break, and then you will get up to it again. Now, I will say, and this will be interesting, during the holidays, people who offer mental health double Dutch bus. People who offer mental health help may also, they're just humans too. They may have a half a day and some time off during the holidays. So maybe it's a matter of how do we, maybe pause this and also then resume it when there are people available in offices. This is a difficult time, framing, this is a difficult time because we live in a world that's not Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. And even though we want people to be there on demand, people are people. Why should it be? You and I should get along so awfully. Gen Xer here, okay? Alrighty. T-Site is saying Merry Christmas one way or the other, and I say Happy Holidays to you as well. So, notice what Country Fences said earlier. The feeling of love and support and encouragement is probably the biggest gift you can give to a lot of people. And especially the people who feel discouraged and unloved, but also keep track of your own boundaries. We may want to solve somebody else's problems, but if they do not participate in the solution, it will be a short-term thing. They will not learn how to take care of themselves. And so teaching them and being there with them, it's kind of like, and again, this is why I always will go back to the road trip and car metaphor, because it seems to be something we are all very familiar with, and it just seems so apt. Think of this, how I frame the coaching I do. You're in the driver's seat. I'm in the passenger seat. But I am in the passenger seat like your driver's ed teacher. I am here to teach you a skill, and you are here to do it under supervision until you do it enough that you're not afraid to experiment with it on your own, and you practice in the driveway, and then you practice in a enclosed parking lot with somebody there, and then you practice on your own, and you get better. The things you repeat, you get better at. I repeat. Second verse, same as the first. I'm Henry VIII, I am. The things you do over and over again, you get better at. It's like a car that drives down the same road. You will make a groove in the dirt, and then that groove of dirt will harden and it will become a road. Okay? Yeah. So I say this to you. I show up at a good distance. I am here to sit in the driver's seat with you, but I have no control over what you do in your driver's side. And the good news is I've heard from enough people that even me showing up in that passenger seat for you helps you drive forward towards your destination decluttered better than if nobody was in the passenger seat. Okay? But I also say this, I am only a temporary substitute for you and your internal voice and heart and soul, literally, metaphorically, whatever, to learn these lessons yourself so you talk to yourself like I talk to you right now. That you don't need me directly here, but you will hear things in my voice temporarily. God, they're going to sound goofy because of my accent. You will then say them to yourself, and then my voice will fade out, and your own personality, your own voice will pick it up, and it will come from you. Right now, you're probably imitating what I say, and it's working. But the more you do it, and Laura Gibbon Voorhees, I see your comments. I'll get to those in a minute because I think that's cool. But what I will say is, Laura Gibbon Voorhees, if I'm not mistaken, I think you are a musician. And so everybody who is a musical person, we start a musical thing imitating somebody else. I want to sing like Ella Fitzgerald. I want to sing like Taylor Swift. I want to play the trumpet like Herb Alpert. I want to play the guitar like Buddy Holly. You start by imitating somebody else, but the more you do something, the more you create your own version of it so that it just becomes part of who you are. Okay? So practice what I'm doing when I'm not around. Don't rely on me. I will be here for you, but you need to participate in your own healing. Yeah. Okay? Now, Laura Gibbon Voorhees is saying, I truly can share with her, in the past, I have saved bags and boxes. Notice, instead of coming from the top down, you're saying, I've been where you are. I used to save bags and boxes. Now I trust, notice that word, that bags and boxes will continue to come my way. And I don't need to keep every single one. Yeah. And Laura, notice your notion of frustration, that frustration, she wanted to save what most folks would just put in the recycle bin because she's not there yet. But notice that when you're at a different place, you can sense a friction because you've been there and you notice that it feels better to do the other thing. So notice when you're getting frustrated, and this is where it can help to take a step back and calm down your own nervous system. Because when you're frustrated, you know somebody else can smell the frustration on you. I stink of frustration sometimes. I do. I try to shower it off. But what I will say is frustration will stop us. It will be friction that will slow down the process of getting to your mutually decided goal. Because if you don't have buy-in, you know that your friend getting to decluttered is going to make you feel better instead. Okay? No, I love this. AC Wild says, finding your voice comes from recognizing joy. Interesting. Interesting to think of. Marietta says, my favorite best phrase is, I'm going to bless someone else with these things. And man, have I blessed people I know, people I don't know, people I got to know by blessing them with things? I mean, who doesn't want to feel like the fairy godmother that is granting somebody's wish? Oh, you think my mid-century modern punch bowl is cool? You want it? Boom, it's yours. Yeah. Yeah. And yes, Penny Lou Magoo, I remember when department stores gave boxes, because I used to work in a department store, and we used to have to give away a lot of boxes. And talk about people who came from lack. They would want like multiple boxes. And I bet there are people right now, how they talk about that millennial inheritance type thing. Trust me, millennials, it started a lot earlier than you, all right? Gen X has been handling that shit for a while, okay? But what I will say is, when you go into people's houses, you may find boxes that they grabbed just in case, and they've never used. Yeah. Saved some of mom's items family members wanted, but no longer speaks to me because issues after mom's died. What I would say, Cat Mama, is this. I would say, I would give them an opportunity. I would say, hey, I know we have issues. However, I'm being a good kid, and I'm saying I saved these things for you. If you want them, get back to me, and then give them a due date to get back to you. If I don't hear from you by this due date, I will do whatever I want with them. But I would give them. And again, that's my personal thing, because here's the thing too. And again, I'm Beth. I'm a decluttering life coach. Life, my life. Cat Mama, what character do you want to be in that story? If your family member was telling a story about this situation, do you want them to say, yeah, and then my jerky relative gave away that stuff when she promised it for me, but then she let it go? Do you want to be that person in their story? Or do you want to feel good and say, I gave you the opportunity. I gave you 2 weeks, a month. I set a due date for you to respond back to me. And you decided not to respond back to me. So it was your decision that instigated the letting go. I was willing. I was going to meet you. So I say to everybody here, I've texted her with no response. Okay. I would say this, Cat Mama. I would, this is probably the first time you guys will ever hear me say a sports metaphor, because I am totally not Sporty Spice. 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out. 3 is a magic number. What I would say is, maybe somebody doesn't get texts. It depends, like sometimes when it says reading. How about this? This also, keep in mind, again, sometimes our longer term goals will cause us to take a look at the slightly longer picture. You can try mailing her too, but then I guess she would mail you back, and that might take a while. I will say this. These next 2 weeks, in my perspective, and my life is chill these next 2 weeks. I do have some stuff going on. My life in these next 2 weeks is not as chaotic as many people's, but yours may be chaotic, as is the life of the person you're trying to do something. You will increase the likelihood of getting what you want when you schedule what you are doing at a time that will probably feel better to them. Okay? So Cat Mama, what I would suggest is, depending upon how many times, if you've already given that person 3 strikes, I would say, just so you know, 3 strikes, you're out. I haven't heard back from you. And then I am donating these things. And then I would give myself a donation date, like in the new year, January 6th or something. Okay? So you give them one last shot, but then you're firm to your goal. Because without consequences, people will just expect, that you're going to keep being there. All right? So notice that. Boundaries for yourself, because you want to be the hero in your own story. I gave Cousin Fred 4 opportunities, and I have the receipts. That's why I like doing the texting, because there's a timestamp, and somebody can't say, oh, you never texted me. Let me screenshot that for you. This is exactly what you said. This is what didn't happen. These are the days and times. So if we were in the court of public opinion, and you were saying to your people how, cousin Cat Mama threw away all the stuff. That's only a portion of the story. Excuse me. Your Honor, I'm going to present my case. I showed up. I said, I'm holding these things for you, and I got in touch on this day, and on this day, and I gave a final. Again, 3 is a magic number. 3 strikes, you're out. And I gave them multiple opportunities over a thing, and I never heard back. Hence, me doing what was important to me, all right? So that's how I would deal with it. Now, I know it's not easy, but keeping an eye on the prize, feeling good about what you did in that decision, okay? Yeah. So we've got about 9 minutes left here on this Destination Decluttered TikTok Live, the holiday week version, right? We've got about 9 minutes here on TikTok, and then we're going over to Destination Decluttered on the YouTube channel and hanging out for another hour together if you want. I hope you are all puttering and decluttering right now. And maybe not, but maybe you hung out and you were sipping your tea and eating your stroopwafel, as I am, and you have some time in the next hour that you want to putter and declutter. I'll keep you company. All right? What I'm going to do right now, though, is I'm going to remind you, first of all, I don't want to talk with my mouth full. For God forbid I start to choke. That would be wicked embarrassing. Okay? Now, Daniel says, oh, I love it. Daniel Meow Meow Kitty Meow Meow says, and I wish you the happiest of holidays. And that's the thing. I want to have a happy holiday. What are the ingredients of a happy holiday for me? Write those down. Okay? Yeah. Okie teacher got laundry put away. Awesome. Now, Marietta says if you want to be the bigger person, put it in a box together and mail it. Write a note if there's more. That's a thing. But what I will also say is it may not fit in a box. And if that feels good to you and you want to feel willing to do it, you do it. If not, yeah. Her husband told me to stop texting. Interesting. Okay, so I would notice that. So I would notice, okay, the message is clear. Do not get in touch with me about this stuff. And at the end of the day, Cat Mama, it's just stuff. It's just stuff. For your own peace of mind and to put some closure, notice closure, container. Put that chapter with your cousin to rest. Yeah. Laura Gibbon Voorhees has already decluttered the Christmas presents from my closet. They are wrapped and under the tree. Check you out, friend. And it's 2 days before. Now, this is fun. Leslie says, decluttering a Rolodex. Remember those? I do. Yeah. And here's the thing, too. Penny Lou Magoo says, I wonder, does she have kids who might want it? I will say this to you. The story will always go back to the other person, you know? There we go. Snap, snap, snap. See, I never watched the show. Was it RuPaul that did that? And my Z probably looks like an S because I'm left-handed. Yeah. Erin, yay, I'm rapping too. Christmas rapping, anybody? Gen X in the house? Hello? I do not want to save it till tomorrow. Yes, why put off? Why push it off? Start doing it now. All right, gift procrastination done. Love it. Beth Perry, hey. There we go. Already inspired generations of clutter in my farmhouse. Getting to work. I love it, Beth. I'm a Beth too. I'm Beth, Destination Decluttered, decluttering life coach. Beth, since you just found my page here on TikTok, a couple of things that might help you, okay? One is I do TikTok lives and YouTube lives almost every day, but it varies because of travel and holidays and stuff, okay? And so my TikTok lives are scheduled. I do YouTube lives too. And what I would share you with this is that if you want to know when I'm going to show up again, because Beth Perry, I'm only here for about like another 5 minutes. It's 10:55 Eastern here in Eastern Pennsylvania where I am. And I have a YouTube live I'm going to do at, I guess, 11 o'clock. So if you want to know when those things are ahead of time, kind of like if you're a Gen Xer looking at the TV guide, go to my website. Now, my website does not have that stuff published to the public because I like to keep the trolls away. So what I do is I say, hey, if you give me your email address, I promise not to spam you, and I will give you access to a page on my website that only you can see that has the schedule on it, okay? And also on that too, Beth Perry, is you will see that I've been doing this for a wicked long time. As of today, in about 5 minutes, I will have had 932 hour-long videos of pure, unadulterated help and fun to get you feeling good about decluttering, okay? And I'm going to show up totally in the new year. I don't know anything else past the new year. I might want to win Powerball and live on a desert island. I don't know, haven't decided yet. But I will be here for you, and I have been, okay? So yay for finding my new page here, or finding my page here. But the only time I do show up on TikTok is doing the lives. I occasionally will post like an excerpt from a live so people know what lives are. But the good stuff happens during the live, so that's when you want to show up, okay? Kara's Garden says, I rapped yesterday. What? Like, who am I, right? This is not what I used to do, but I'm experimenting with what I used to be that person, now I'm this person. And Kara, it's wicked funny. You missed it, but earlier today, I went out of the house without my glasses on, and I walked down to the mailbox at the library. And I didn't realize until about halfway done. I am so used to being who I am wearing the glasses. That's why I'm wearing them now. But I'm experimenting with doing something different. Yeah. Yep. Alrighty. So, Marietta, I'm so sorry to hear that. Okay, teacher is going to rap during the next live and grabbing my ice water. I love it. I've got my hot tea right here. This is cool. Decluttering can be fun. Laura Gibbon Voorhees says, I have a friend who found letters written from a Civil War soldier to family in her barn in a chest, and she published it as a book. Very cool. Yes. Alrighty. So, would I will say this? Yeah, I love it. The former procrastination queens. We've given somebody else that crown, and we're the rapping rulers. Yo, yo, yo. There we go. Okay. And here's the thing. No, this is the crazy thing. Patty is asking me about my glasses. I'll wrap up. So I had cataract surgery within the past couple of weeks. Do you see differently with them on since you don't need them? A little bit. These are just to be clear. These are not prescription. These are strictly for show. And it is a little bit different basically because of peripheral vision. Right here, I still have this, but I'm sharing with you my journey of expanding my comfort zone for me to get comfortable seeing me without my glasses. When I'm comfortable doing it, I will do it. If I'm not, I will keep the glasses on. So notice, it's all about what you are feeling comfortable with, but also this is me kind of expanding my nervous system like a geodesic dome, a clear dome made out of really cool, stretchy, like saran wrap. Your comfort zone, make it as big as you can be. I obviously kind of survived going down people didn't shriek in horror after seeing me without glasses walking down the street. So that was a fun thing. But anyhow, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go over here. So I'm going to get the TikTok, where am I? The Destination Decluttered YouTube Live. I'm going to get that ready, and we're going to switch over to YouTube in about a minute. The reason I'm doing that is to help you either create a break so you can be like, okay, I need to go do something. And yes, totally Bonnie Esther. One of the reasons I do it, as I said, was, oh God, I have bags under my eyes and then I'd have to wear makeup. Okay. So I will say today is 12/23/2025, and it is going to be the 11 a.m. YouTube Live. It's going to be on Destination Decluttered on YouTube in about like a minute. It is not made for kids, but kids can show up. What are we going to do? I got that started. And will I show up tomorrow? I don't know. I might. Yes, I will. Okay. But I will tell you, I won't tell you what time because I want you to sign up for the mailing list. And I want people on the mailing list to practice checking the decluttered secret page. Okay. So here we go. This has been wicked fun. Always a good time, because if it wasn't a good time, I would not show up. And we're going to show up. Actually, let me see if I can do this. This would be kind of funny. Let me see if I can be on TikTok and YouTube at the same time. Using one eye for one thing. Retake the thumbnail. There we go. It was almost like doing a daguerreotype. I'm going live on YouTube. Going live, going live. I'm live on YouTube. So I'm going to show off. Daniel is purring his loudest for you and tell him meow meow. Okay. I'm going to tell him meow meow from Auntie Beth, and I will see you guys on YouTube.